Churchill Weavers was started in 1922 by Mr. and Mrs. D.C. Churchill. The Churchills were missionaries from India. He was an MIT graduate in engineering, and Mrs. Churchill was a Wesleyan graduate in German and English, but they met in India as missionaries, 1910. So when he came back, he said, Eleanor, there is no place in the county for people to work except Berea College. Why don't we start a weaving business? So in 1922, they started Churchill Weavers. And they employed people to make the looms, men to make the looms. They used natural materials, southern yellow pine and hard rock maple and poplar to make the looms, to make the equipment. And Mrs. Churchill designed the fabric, and that's how Churchill Weavers started.
Well, I got a call one day from Mrs. Churchill, and she asked me to come talk to her. I went into her office, and she offered me the job as designer at Churchill Weavers. And I was very flattered. I told her I didn't know anything about weaving, and she said, well, you can learn, can't you? I decided not to take the job. When I went in to tell her that I was not going to take the job, she said, well, if you won't come work for me, she said, do you and Dick want to buy the business? I just about fell over because I had not ever entertained such a notion. So we took a long time trying to decide. We talked with her. She gave us an option on it. It took us about 6 weeks to make the decision to do it because it was a very frightening thing. I quit my teaching job, and I worked there for a year or two without any pay and learned. We did a lot of shows, we traveled, we opened new markets. We became cutting edge with our fabrics at Churchill Weavers as far as designs. At one point we got up to 92 or 3 employees. When Churchill Weavers closed, we had to downsize because sales were dropping, and because of the Chinese, Asian imports, and they were copying our designs, and the market was flooded. There's such a thing as a category killer, and when you have you put something out that competes with an original product, you put it out and you put it everywhere at $9.99, say, quote unquote, it becomes a category killer, and it's not as desirable a product anymore. So that happened with our throws. But and so we closed in 2007.